Welcome to GC Reddy Technologies. Selenium syllabus. See, Selenium syllabus is dynamic. It is not static. Why? Based on our programming language selection, that Selenium syllabus depends. Suppose if you select Java, you need to follow Java syllabus. Python syllabus like that. Selenium syllabus. Selenium is not an all-inclusive test tool. So it requires third-party plugins and frameworks to broaden the scope of testing. Say, for example, other tools in this area, UFT, Unified Functional Testing, RFT, Rational Functional Testing, Rational Functional Tester, next Silk Test, Test Complete, etc. All these are commercial tools. For those commercial tools, you no need to configure anything. You just download that software and install, then you can work with that software. They are all inclusive, but Selenium is not all inclusive. It requires some third-party plugins and frameworks to broaden the scope of testing. For example, if you install UFT, UFT supports VB script programming. Next, SQL commands. UFT supports SQL. You no need to install SQL component. Next, you no need to install VB script engine. Next, you no need to install editor for UFT. All are packed environment. All are inbuilt. But Selenium is not like that. Okay. Say, for Selenium test environment setup, first we need to select Selenium tools and third-party plugins and frameworks. Generally, in real time, test lead or team lead, or you can say test manager. The designation depends on your company. Selects the Selenium software and other plugins and frameworks by coordinating with all team members. Okay, suppose I selected Selenium WebDriver as test tool, Grid for parallel testing, next Java as programming language, Eclipse IDE as editor, TestNG as testing framework, Maven. Maven is build automation tool. I'm using Maven for test environment maintenance. Next, extend reports for enhancing test results. Next, automation framework. It is not software. It is a process. Here I am selecting hybrid framework, keyword driven plus data driven. Okay. See important modules in our Selenium syllabus with this selection. Java programming for Selenium. Next, Selenium WebDriver. Next, TestNG. Next, Selenium automation framework. Important modules. First, Java programming for Selenium. What we have to learn? Say, Java has three important editions. Java Standard Edition or Core Java. Core Java is public term, but official term is Java Standard Edition. You can't find Core Java term in official website of Java, oracle.com. They never used Core Java term in their documentation. Java Standard Edition or public term Core Java. Next edition, Java Enterprise Edition or Advanced Java. Next, Java Micro Edition. Micro Edition for small devices like mobiles. Okay, for our automated testing using Selenium, Advanced Java is not required. Micro Edition is not required. Just Java Standard Edition or Core Java. Okay. Next, in this Java Standard Edition, what what concepts are required for our automated testing. First, focus on Java environment setup. Download and install Java software. Next, download and install or extract Eclipse IDE for writing and executing Java programs. Next, set Java environment variable path. Okay, these 3 steps for Java environment setup. Download, see once again, first step, download and install Java software, JDK, Java Development Kit. Next, second step, download and install Eclipse IDE software. Next, third step, set Java environment variable path in your operating system. Then you can launch Eclipse IDE and write and execute Java programs. Why Java environment setup? See, to write and execute Java programs, then Java environment is required. Okay. After installation of Java, you can't get editor for writing, no built-in editor for writing Java programs. Suppose if you install Python, after installation of Python, you can get a Python shell. In that shell, you can write Python programs and execute. Here, no built-in editor with Java software. So you need to install Eclipse IDE like software. Next, focus on Java keywords and identifiers. See, we have several Java keywords, key to the code, and identifiers, keywords. For example, if is keyword, for is keyword, new is keyword, import is keyword. See, suppose you take any language, we require keywords and identifiers to write programs. For example, access modifiers are keywords, public, private, next protected, etc. Next, data types are keywords. In Java, primitive data types are keywords, not non-primitive. Primitive data types are keywords. For example, int, char, double, long, etc. Next, conditional statements are keywords. If, else, switch. Next, loop statements are keywords. For, while, do while, etc. So first focus on Java keywords. Next, identifiers. You know what are the programming identifiers? See, variables. See, we name variables. Variable names are identifiers. Variable names are identifiers. Variables are identifiers. Classes are identifiers. Method names, identifiers, user defined. Next, method names, variable names, object names, class names, etc. Next, focus on Java syntax. Syntax means system grammar. For example, Java is case sensitive language. All Java keywords are small letters. Next, main method is used in Java programs to execute the programs. See, if you don't use main method in your Java program, then you can't execute the program. Next, method name should start with a small letter. Class name should start with a capital letter, etc. Next, Java supports explicit declaration of data types, explicit declaration of variables, Java code blocks, conditional blocks, loop blocks, method blocks, etc. enclosed with curly braces, etc. Formalities are there. For one more thing, every Java statement should end with semicolon. Like, say, if you want to write and execute Java programs, first you need to familiar with Java syntax. Next, Java is object-oriented programming language. Suppose C language. structured programming language. C++, object oriented. Java, object oriented. C Sharp, object oriented. So if you want to learn Java, you need to familiar with Java object oriented programming concepts. First basics, next Java object oriented programming principles are there. You need to learn principles also. First focus on basics. What are Java object oriented programming basics? Class. What is class? How to create class, like object, how to create objects in using user defined class and predefined class. Next, method. What is method? Built-in methods, user defined methods. Constructor, special kind of method. Next, interface. So you need to familiar with what is class, what is object, method, constructor, and interface. Next, focus on Java program structure. Java program structure. First, documentation section, that is optional. Next, package statement. Next, import statements. Next, interface section. Next, class definition. Next, declarations, static variables and methods declaration. Next, main method. Within main method, we write our programs declaring variables, declaring constants or final variables. Next, writing independent statements, writing print statement, also independent statement. Next, writing code blocks, conditional block, loop block, etc., calling methods, etc. Next, focus on Java comments. Say, comments. Writing comments in your programs is optional. It's not mandatory. If you don't write comments in your programs, then no issue. You can execute your programs and get desired output. But if you write meaningful comments in your programs, then your programs are readable. See, in computer programming, two important things. One is rule, another is standard. One is rule, another is standard. Comments come under standards. Comments are not rules. Okay. Next, Java modifiers. Say we have two categories of modifiers in Java. Java access modifiers, public, private, protected, default. Next, non-access modifiers like final, static, abstract, etc. Say our automated testing using Selenium point of view, modifiers limited use. For example, in access modifier, we don't go for private, protected modifiers. Most of the time, we may use public access modifier. Why? Ours is teamwork. We share our automation resources among team members. So we prefer public access modifier. In non-access modifiers, static modifier may be used for declaring static variables and static methods in our test cases, but remaining modifiers, abstract, etc., synchronized, etc., modifiers, we may not use. Okay. Next, Java data types. See, specifying data types. See, in our Selenium test cases, we use different types of data. To specify the data types are important. Data types for data type specification. Next, variables for storing or holding data. So our automated testing point of view, you need to familiar with the data types and variables. See, data types, we have two categories of data types in Java programming. One is primitive, another is non-primitive. Primitive integer data types, byte, short, int, long. Next, relational data types, float, double. Next, character data type, character. Next, conditional data type, boolean. 8 primitive data types. Next, non-primitive data types in Java are objects, string, array, etc. Next, variables. Java variables. Variables for storing or holding the data in our test cases. We have 3 types of variables in Java. Local variables, instance variables, local variables, static variables, and non-static variables or instance variables. Next, operators. See, operators are used to perform mathematical comparison and logical operations. See, here important categories of operators are arithmetic operators, comparison operators or relational operators. Next, assignment operators. Next, logical operators. Next, control flow. See, you take any programming language, we have 3 types of control flow. Decision making statements are conditional statements, example if, loop statements, example for, while, etc. Next, branching statements, example break, continue, etc. Okay. Next, string handling in Java. Say, in our automated testing, this concept string handling is important. Say, in computer programming, whenever you read data, any data, whether it is number or text, if you read data in computer programming, then it considers the data as string type data. So string is more important in programming as well as in our automated testing also. String handling. Next, Java data structures. Say, for storing single values, you can use the data types, primitive data types and non-primitive data types. If you want to store multiple values at a time, for the data structures required. Data structure, best example, array. Array is data structure. Array list is data structure. Okay, if you want to read tabular format data, Excel data, then array required. Okay, familiar with data structures. Next, Java I/O. In this Java I/O, how to read user input using Java. Next, how to display our program output on the console. Next, file handling, reading and writing files. Next, database connectivity. See, Java has a separate library called JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. Using the JDBC API, you can communicate with databases. Say, Selenium doesn't support database testing directly. With the help of programming language, you can conduct database testing. For example, how we test database using Selenium. If you use Java JDBC, JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. Using Java JDBC, Selenium can communicate with our database, application database, and conduct database operations and conduct test operations. Next, Java methods. Say, in structured programming, we have functions for code reusability. In object-oriented programming, no functions concept, but equivalent concept is methods. Methods for reusability, code reusability. In our test cases, we may use reusable. In our project, for writing test cases, we may use reusable functions. For creating reusable functions for our test cases, we use Java methods. In Java methods, we have built-in methods and user-defined methods. User-defined methods for creating reusable functions. Built-in methods, you can use built-in methods as it is. We have string built-in methods, operations on strings. Next, character methods, operations on characters. Number methods, operations on numbers. Array methods, operations on arrays. Date and time methods, etc. Next, Java exception handling. Say, in our Selenium test cases, sometimes we need to handle runtime errors. To handle runtime errors in our test cases, we use Java exception handling code. Okay, using programming exception handling code, we handle runtime errors in our test cases. Next, Java object-oriented programming principles. We have 4 principles. Inheritance, reusing. Inherit means reuse. Reusing classes. Next, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation. See, these concepts are enough for our Selenium. Next, come to Selenium WebDriver. Selenium WebDriver. See, Selenium is not a single tool. It is a suite of test tools or bunch of tools. In Selenium documentation, you can find Selenium components or Selenium's tool suite. Say, actually, we have 4 tools: Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid. First one, Selenium IDE, that is prototype tool, record and playback tool, no programming support. That is not an independent software. That is browser plugin. Plugins available for Firefox browser and Chrome browser. That Selenium IDE is not suitable for complex test design, so eliminate the Eclipse IDE. Next, Selenium RC, remote control, outdated, and it removed from the Selenium latest version. So eliminate Selenium RC. Next, Selenium WebDriver and Selenium Grid. Selenium Grid is not a complete test tool. Selenium Grid is only for test execution, parallel testing. Selenium Grid doesn't support test design. So using Selenium Grid, you can't automate any project from scratch. But using Selenium WebDriver, you can automate project. It supports test design as well as test execution. Using Selenium WebDriver only, you can automate your projects. Selenium Grid also not mandatory. But if you use Selenium Grid, you can execute your test cases, Selenium WebDriver test cases in parallel. Suppose if you don't want to execute parallel, then no need to use Selenium Grid. Selenium WebDriver is enough. Okay. Selenium WebDriver. In Selenium WebDriver, what we have to learn? See, we can download and use Selenium software from Selenium official website, selenium.dev. See, selenium.dev. It is Selenium official website. Selenium is an open source test tool. No vendor for this tool. Selenium developers community is there. They are maintaining this Selenium official website. From the Selenium official website, selenium.dev, formerly seleniumhq.org, that site was removed. New site is selenium.dev. From the selenium.dev, you can download Selenium software and you can get Selenium documentation. Okay, next, focus on Selenium test environment setup. See, install Selenium and configure Selenium test environment. Selenium installation is not sufficient for Selenium test environment. You need to download and install Eclipse IDE like editor. Next, Java. In our selection Java. If you select Python, install Python. Download and install Java. Set environment variable path. Next, download Selenium software and add that jar file to Java project in our Eclipse IDE. Next, download TestNG plugin for Eclipse IDE like environment setup. See, Selenium installation is not sufficient for Selenium test environment setup. We need to configure required plugins and frameworks. Next, after Selenium test environment setup, focus on inspecting elements, web elements or HTML elements. See, elements. See, Selenium supports functional testing, automated functional testing. For example, JMeter supports performance testing. Selenium supports functional testing. Functional test tools are object-based test tools. Based on front-end objects, they perform test operations. For example, front-end objects are elements. Element terminology may vary from one environment to another. In UFT, we use object term. In RFT also we use object term. In Selenium, we use element. Equivalent term. Okay. Say functional, automated functional test tools like Selenium, UFT, RFT perform test operations based on front-end objects like buttons, links, edit boxes, images, radio button, checkbox, etc. Suppose enter email ID into username edit box. Here edit box, username edit box environment. Next, enter password into password edit box, password edit box environment. Click sign in button, button environment. All these are elements. So here inspecting elements is important. Suppose performance test tools, protocol based test tools based on protocols, HTTP, HTTPS, next JDBC, ODBC, they conduct or they perform test operations. But functional test tools like Selenium, UFT, RFT, Silk test, etc. perform test operations based on front-end objects. So we need to familiar with front-end objects or elements. Here one small exemption is there for conducting database testing. No front-end object reference is required. Okay. Inspect web elements or HTML elements. Links, edit boxes, radio button, next drop down box, list box, combo box, image, etc. How to inspect? Selenium, using Selenium feature. First of all, Selenium WebDriver doesn't have any built-in features. Selenium WebDriver doesn't have UI, user interface. It is just API, application programming interface. Then how to inspect elements? See, using browsers, browser plugins, you can inspect our application elements. Nowadays, every browser, Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or Microsoft Edge are providing built-in developer tools for inspecting web elements. So using any one of those browsers, you can inspect your application elements. Next, locate elements in Selenium. See, Selenium supports, this is Selenium WebDriver syllabus. Earlier we discussed the Java syllabus. See, not using Selenium supports 8 element locators for locating or recognizing or identifying elements in web pages. You can use any one of those element locators. Okay, it supports ID, name, tag name, class name, next link text, partial link text, class, sorry, CSS selector, and XPath. Next, performing actions on elements. Using Selenium WebDriver methods, we can perform actions on elements. Actions. Suppose link is element. Click link. Click is action on the element. Edit box is element. Suppose entering a value. Enter a value. That is action on the element. Value is parameter. Next, radio button. Select an option. Action. Checkbox. Check. That is action on the element. Uncheck. Action on the element. Next, suppose link click. Suppose drop down box. Select an item. Selecting an item, action on the element. How to perform actions on elements in our Selenium using Selenium WebDriver methods. Next, Selenium page object model. See, I already told no built-in feature in Selenium WebDriver. It doesn't have any ID. It doesn't have ID, integrated development environment like UFT, RFT, etc. For everything, you need to write code. For creating object repositories, we need to write page objects. Suppose. Next, writing Selenium test cases. First, write Selenium test steps. How to write Selenium test steps? Using element locators and WebDriver methods, you can write your test steps. Locate an element and perform action on the element. That is Selenium test step. Okay. Next, synchronization. Suppose if any wait time is required between two statements, you can insert wait. Next, insert verification points. Say Selenium WebDriver doesn't have any built-in features for inserting verification points. If you integrate TestNG like testing framework, you can insert verification points using TestNG assert methods. Next, handling runtime errors in our test cases. Using programming, what is that one? Exception handling code, you can handle runtime errors in our test cases. This is the Selenium WebDriver syllabus. Inspecting elements, locating elements, performing actions on elements. Next, creating object repositories. Next, start writing Selenium test cases. Next, TestNG testing framework for Selenium. TestNG basically unit test framework for Java projects. But in our basically it was created for unit testing. Nowadays it is using for all levels of testing, system testing, acceptance testing, etc. Okay, what is the role of TestNG testing framework in our Selenium? In this TestNG, first install TestNG plugin for Eclipse IDE, then you can start working with the TestNG. Using TestNG integration with Selenium, we can create test batches. Next, prioritize test cases, grouping test cases, executing test batches, generating test reports. See, Selenium WebDriver doesn't have built-in result report facility. Using TestNG support, you can generate test reports. Next, last module, Selenium automation framework. See, Selenium automation framework, it's not a software. It is a methodology, or it is a process. It is a process. Say here we have several third-party frameworks, example, keyword-driven framework, data-driven framework, hybrid framework, etc. Suppose if you select hybrid framework is not mandatory in our Selenium testing, but it is best practice. Nowadays, most of the companies using any one of frameworks for their project automation. It is not mandatory, it is optional, but best practice. So you try nowadays 90%, 95% companies are using frameworks. Okay. Next, if you follow a framework, keyword driven or hybrid framework, then what is the process? First, focus on Selenium test environment by integrating Maven with Selenium. If you integrate Maven with Selenium, then if you provide Maven dependency codes, Selenium Maven dependency, TestNG Maven dependency, etc., then Maven can download the software and configure. See, Maven, generally, Maven is build automation tool for Java projects. That is primary purpose. Ours is secondary purpose. In our test environment, Maven purpose is configuring test environment and maintenance of test environment. Without Maven, we can configure without Maven also, we can configure the test environment manually. But if you use Maven, that's an optimized process. Okay, using Maven integration, we can configure the Selenium test environment and maintenance of test environment. Next, after test environment setup in our framework, next step, create a folder structure to store automation resources like page objects, reusable functions, test cases, test data, test results, etc. Create one main folder. Under that main folder, create subfolders. One subfolder for storing object repositories, one subfolder for storing reusable functions, one subfolder for storing test data, one subfolder for storing test results. Next, using these resources, you can create test cases. And you can share your automation resources among team members. If you create some reusable functions in your project, your team members can use those functions if you share this folder. Next, create automation resources and store. Next, create Selenium test cases. Next, execute or run, synonyms, test batches. Next, analyze test result and report defects. See, analyzing test result and reporting defects. Reporting defects is not the Selenium activity. User means tester activity. After analyzing the tester result, if you find any deviation from expected, then report defects using your company defect management system. Next, after reporting, next, track defects, track for status. After tracking defects, after receiving modified build, conduct retesting and regression testing. Next, cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3, cycle 4. At the end, conduct final regression. Next, release the software. Next, maintain test automation resources. It is continuous practice. Maintain test automation resources. See, Selenium syllabus depends on our selected tools and plugins for Selenium. Thank you.